Inter against Napoli, the main dish to set before you in today's feast of football from the Italian First Division. Both sides have led the league already this season. Napoli knocked off the top last weekend, their first defeat in 15 matches. It was at home to Juventus. Napoli will feel that their hand is strengthened though today with the return from suspension at number 4 of Massimo Crippa. Otherwise it is the same side which had that unbeaten sequence squashed by Juventus, with one exception. Out goes striker Michele Padovano, and in at number 11, an extra midfield player, Vittorio Puchedu. As for Inter, they make 2 changes from the side which shared the spoils in Sardinia against Cagliari. At number 4, Marcello Montanari starts a league game in Inter's colours for the first time. He comes in for Sergio Battistini. And for a home game, the coach Corrado Orrico believes in giving Jurgen Klinsmann some aid in attack. So with Stefano Desideri stepping down, Davide Fontolan is recalled. The referee, Piero Ceccarini. Now, tradition really favours Inter today. Napoli haven't won a league game here since the 1967-68 season. That's a matter of 23 visits for the club from Naples to take on Inter here without success. There have been a few draws along the way. They were narrowly beaten here 11 months ago, 2-1, when Napoli were really embroiled in the misery that surrounded the Maradona situation. It was at a time when the club just didn't seem to know from week to week whether Maradona would choose to play. He made himself available for this fixture last season. They did pick him for it, but he couldn't prevent a 2-1 defeat. But it's a different Napoli now. We're just wondering today, really, how they will come back from losing and playing rather disappointingly a week ago. Here's Puchedu, coach Claudio Ranieri. Walter Zenga, of course, in the Inter goal, the side full of international talent, but it's the tactics that we must keep an eye on. The number 5 in your picture, Dino Baggio, has been given a role in the centre anchoring midfield, which is designed, certainly the supporters and I think the players hope, designed to give Lothar Matthaus more space to attack from. Nicola Berti will try and do that, I'm sure, from midfield as well. Inter tried it all out in a friendly in Portugal in midweek. It's tactically that Orrico, the coach, is under a bit of pressure. They could do with an early goal here, and Jurgen Klinsmann in particular, he hasn't scored yet this season. Alamao. Starting as he did against Juventus on the left. He did switch in the second half and was certainly more of a force then, but one can understand if Napoli are going to be cautious at the outset here. It's a difficult game for them in any case, but coming hard on the heels of what has become a rare defeat for them. They want to make sure that they compete well. Corradini nipping in, and Careca finds the whistle going. Now, he does have a splendid record here. He scored in each of his last 3 matches against Inter at San Siro, but he's been on the losing side each time. But Napoli already setting out their stall to congest the midfield area. Fontolan and Klinsmann may find it hard to get some room here. But Matthaus really throwing down the gauntlet. It's a terrific try, and what about that for a save from Galli? Most goalkeepers would have been happy to turn this aside. A thunderbolt from Matthaus, and Galli caught it. Touched off by Zola. The interplay with Careca. Fontolan getting a foot in, and the strong work by Ferrara, who's then flattened by Berti. And the yellow card for Nicola Berti. And he's not happy about it, but really, I think when he gets the opportunity to reflect on it, it was a rash tackle, a willingness, of course, to try and get the ball back. Fontolan had just lost it, but with his trailing leg there, he scythed down Ferrara. No lasting damage to the Napoli captain. Laurent Blanc, the Frenchman, taking the free kick. Maybe a chance for Ferrara to get in the cross. There didn't seem to be much room on the far side, with Zola rolling the ball almost down the line itself for Ferrara. Here's Brehme. They've got men over on the right. Klinsmann showing well. Berti, and yes, the free kick has been given against Blanc for shoving down Fontolan. Berti coming on the scene at pace here and deciding to look for a give and go with Fontolan. And Blanc ruled to have made contact, and it's a free kick full of hope for Inter here. Oh, deflected from Matthaus, and deflected in fact well wide. And you needed to be brave to get into the line of that shot. Galli, who played here, of course, in Milan's colours. Matthaus takes the corner himself, and the goalkeeper shows how much at home he is. Ranieri, who is an expressive man, one of the younger coaches. We made the point last week that Napoli actually were beaten for the first time in 15 games on his 40th birthday. Well, Napoli in their change strip of all red and playing in a red-blooded way to stop Inter really getting control in the first half. Berti, again a good tackle by Corrado. Plenty of time for Montanari at the back. Ferri is out injured at the moment. Too much time, perhaps. It's out. The crowd don't like that. Brehme's not too keen on the judgment from the linesman, but it really was the waste of possession that Inter should be complaining about. Inter already out of Europe, and the team that knocked them out, Boa Vista, played Torino in Turin as recently as last Thursday and were beaten 2-0 to rather add further insult to Inter's demise. This is good work, though, from them. Bianchi. Oh, muscle's gone. That's a hamstring. And he'll have to go off. Pulling up lame, as though somebody had fired a bullet into the back of that right leg. And if the muscle is completely torn, he's going to be out for a few weeks. Well, Desideri can find at the outset to the bench. It's the sort of injury that afflicts the quicker players, and any attempt to stay on will only aggravate it. It's a sensible departure for Bianchi, though be it a sad one. And Matthaus coming across to add his consolation. But Inter do have a good squad, plenty of depth, and Desideri is a man with 3 goals to his name in the league this season. He's way out on his own as the top scorer for Inter. Corrado. It's a great cross on the run. It's too long for Zola, but Kripper's there. Wants to return the ball quickly, hits Brehme. It's a difficult situation, this, for Brehme. And, well, Napoli feel it should have been a corner, but it's going to be a free kick in Andy Brehme's favour. Laid off by Klinsmann, he gets it back from Matthaus. Klinsmann, who's so effective when he can get a run at defenders. You do sense this is a critical time in Jurgen Klinsmann's career. His international place now has gone for the moment to Rudi Völler and Riedler. They're the pairing up front for Germany. Riedler of Lazio, Völler, of course, of Roma. Zenga still of Italy, although he has a new coach to please now in Orrico at international level. More purposeful work by Ciro Ferrara has led to another Napoli free kick. Nieri's men have been rehearsing these situations, I'm sure, in the week. Corrado's gone across with Zola. Oh! He was trying to catch out Zenga at the near post. And the goalkeeper just got back. It was a very awkward save to manufacture. But here come Inter, they've got 5 forward. Klinsmann. And this time, Galli couldn't totally back his hands as he did from Matthaus earlier in the half. But he got enough behind a ball that bounced awkwardly in front of him. Well, it could have been a goal for Napoli. And yet, within seconds, they might have been a goal down. Desideri takes the corner over Berti. Alamao. And really, the match swinging from one end to the other. Alamao. Napoli haven't come here just to defend. We've had plenty of evidence of that already. Oh, and Zenga, as if still concerned about what happened here. Corrado going the direct route and very nearly succeeding. And within seconds, Inter had got 5 players up, and it was guided down by Montanari, I think it was, for Klinsmann, and Galli did well. Inter playing this match at a fast tempo. And Napoli are coping, not not without some difficulties. Free kick again given against Blanc. Not for the first time in the game, getting really too tight on Fontolan. Well, you really can understand the way Jurgen Klinsmann is feeling at the moment. He's fighting here to get in front to the ball in from Matthaus, and having got there, he feels he deserves a goal. Inviting the tackles and skipping past them. Zola is usually there to help him when he needs a pass, but it's Inter springing forward with Matthaus. It's a great run from him, and Galli settles for kicking it away. Well, the speed of the match has been impressive, and still Matthaus found something extra. He really took all the responsibility, and Francini was left trailing in his wake. But Galli stood up to him and was able to knock it away. Zola. It's Inter's throw. Zola thinks otherwise. Brehme taking it. Certainly can't pick too many holes in Orrico's tactics, but Napoli have been durable opponents thus far, but there's a long way to go, and this can be a very hard ground to come away from with real satisfaction as visiting teams. Napoli know that better than most. Well read by Blanc. Kripa. And Zola's pass not collected by Blanc as he went forward, as he enjoys doing. He's relying on others to help him at the back at the moment. Like Napoli couldn't get the tackle in. Blanc then got to the ball as it bounced up. And referee Ceccarini is playing his part here. He's letting any marginal decisions go so that the game continues its flow. He's got to blow now, because it's half-time in San Siro. A great first half in terms of the goalkeepers, particularly Galli, who's been tested from long range. Inter playing with pace, but they haven't broken through yet. Napoli standing their corner. 0-0 at San Siro at half-time. Everyone checking the watch on the bench and in the middle, and Napoli attack the goal to the right in the second half. Inter have frustrated their own supporters here on a number of occasions already this season. And here's Zola losing out. Foggia drew here 1-1. Fiorentina 1-1. Verona were beaten 2-0, but that was the day of the extraordinary sequence of Inter penalty misses. And of course there's been the European exit as well, when Boavista refused to be broken down in the first round, second leg of the UEFA Cup. Ranieri's team have that same ambition, and maybe a bit more as well. Kripa and Ferrara losing out in the end to a combination of Fontolan and Berti. Klinsmann trying to get into the centre. Berti waiting for Brehme to come outside and then using him as a decoy. He might have gone on and shot then. But he was looking really at those in the centre. And Napoli with this pairing of Zola and Careca, capable of carving a chance out of very little. Each with 4 league goals to their name so far this season. Cripper's cross. Oh, and Careca wants to lay it back. Eventually Alamar was there. Corradini also trying to get on the scene, but I think Careca had grounds for complaint. Berti. Fontolan, who's being used more on the left than the right. It's not been easy for Davide Fontolan since his recovery from that severe knee problem that kept him out for the entire season last season. You do feel that a goal or two would just aid the recovery, and now there's a problem for Napoli and for Cripper as well. The yellow card being brandished by a referee who certainly hasn't been open to criticism of fussiness in the game so far, but the free kick to be addressed by Andy Brehme and met by Blanc. Matthaus nips in and gets the cross in. Fontolan. Oh! Klinsmann very nearly picked up the pieces off the goalkeeper, and Berti has put the ball in, but it had gone out of play. And that really expresses everything about Inter's frustration here. Matthaus did marvellously on the far side. Fontolan steered it back, and then Berti himself had the first shot and kept on running. And Galli did very well on 2 occasions. It was out, no doubt about that. No goal. Blanc. Zola letting it run to Cripper. Bergomi meeting the ball, but not really convincingly. It's been a bit hard on Inter and Orrico's approach to this game, that he's lost Bianchi with that first half hamstring strain. He does, Bianchi, when fit, provide a regular outlet on the right, but through the centre now comes Matthaus! That's the idea, really, to get more of that from him. We've seen plenty of it in the past, but not so much this season for Inter. He's been in more of a holding role, and that seems a waste. He's still in the middle now. The cross from Klinsmann, the volley from Fontolan. And really, it was hit just too true, if you understand the contradiction. He met it very sweetly and the ball kept on rising. If he'd mishit it at all, it had a better chance of going in. But prior to that, Matthaus went darting through the centre. Desideri returned the ball to him, and again Galli was well placed. Well, as I'm sure many of you realise, the Italian newspapers are very quick to give each individual who plays in a match in Italy's first division marks out of 10 for their performances, and I would think Giovanni Galli can look forward to opening up the papers tomorrow. We'll see what they give him. But for the former Milan goalkeeper, I think Napoli would be a couple of goals down by now. Oh, he's played into trouble by Blanc, who does have this air of casualness about his play. He shrug of the shoulders, a typical Gallic gesture from the Frenchman. It was Galli who had to move smartly. Brehme. Matthaus almost sat up for the shot. Not quite. Paganin. Corrado stretching to it. Now Baggio. And a clever change of direction. Blanc came out to try and get the tackle in. Failed twice. But the ball being manipulated in front of Napoli. They tried to get it in behind them then. Good work by Ferrara. Alamao and Kripa. And at the moment, Napoli very much on the receiving end. Napoli. Kripa claiming obstruction, but he's got the ball back. Zola. Alamao through the middle. But letting Zola go. Here's Kripa. Brehme just getting a foot to the ball. And here's Berti on the break. His mind read by Fernando de Napoli. Zola, this is what Napoli needed, some sort of breathing space. Blanc started to come forward and then put the brakes on. Careca, Zola. Inter haven't had too much defending to do over the last 10 minutes or so, but caught out now. Montanari not really helped by his teammates, but he's gone and won it back from Francini. No foul. Again, referee Ceccarini letting the game flow. Alamao's cross, and both Careca and Zola had gone to the near post. Kripa came from deeper, and he can hit them better than that. Disappointment for Ranieri and his colleagues on the bench, and Zenga was angry, wondering where the responsibility was for Kripa being free. Baggio. Klinsmann chasing. Francini's looked fallible for pace once or twice in this game. Klinsmann gets the throw. Paganin. Well, Brehme took too long to make up his mind. And here comes Zola. And this could be a breakthrough for Napoli, who really feel that something might be in the offing when Zola's on the ball in those circumstances. Brehme, who'd lost it in the first place, is able to go forward again. Desideri. Berti. First touch not quite good enough. It needed to be extra special, really. And the crowd disappointed again and worried by Puchedu's pace down the Napoli left. He's playing to get a regular game for Ranieri. First season in Naples from Verona. De Napoli. And off goes Berti again. Surrounded by red shirts, though, as soon as he reached the halfway line. But able to get free. Matthaus for Klinsmann. Still Klinsmann. Well, I think the Italian referees know a bit too much about him now. He certainly doesn't get the decisions that went his way in his first few months in Italy. I don't think he was entitled to one then. Careca. Puchedu. Careca won't be too disappointed if he fails to extend his sequence of goals in this stadium, as long as Napoli take a point. That's still in some doubt. Matthaus. Brehme waiting for the movement, and Klinsmann didn't fail him. And on he goes. Well, he is a player that you travel a long way to watch. Sometimes he's accused of selfishness on the pitch, and maybe so here. But you can never doubt Jürgen Klinsmann's willingness. There was a lot to do from Brehme's pass, and he did most of it until it came to finding accuracy with the shot. Nevertheless, Inter have a corner. And another chance for Matthaus. Desideri. It hasn't quite come to that for Inter yet. His teammates, I think, appreciated it. Paganin wasn't frightened of the responsibility of shooting, but he never set himself. And the longer it goes on like this, the more the crowd, with 15 minutes to go, might act in Napoli's favour. Baggio. Yes, every little error, and that was hardly a major one by Desideri, is greeted now by concern from the Inter fans, but they had hope rising then, and Berti's doing everything but, isn't it? You cannot fault the effort, and I'm sure Orrico down on his bench will just be thinking, well, we're not getting a break here. There's a lot to admire in the approach play, and Berti there, actually, I think touching the ball with his standing foot, which put off the swing from the right foot. Crippa. Cross came INTER-Napoli. They are good enough, Ranieri's team, to hold on to the ball at times, although they haven't in this particular example, just to take some of this effort and exertion out of Inter's play. It is a difficult season to foretell, this one. Milan, who still have a game in hand and went into today's matches at the top of the table, do look a good bet for the title. Desideri! But you wouldn't rule out Inter. Napoli are staking their claim as well as Juventus. Sampdoria will surely get better, and it promises to be an engrossing few months ahead. But in this match, Inter have looked inspired at times, but not a goal to show for it. Crippa. That was a strange intervention by Brehme. Zola. Paganin will pass it with a bit more thought than Brehme did. And Inter, understandably, finding it a little difficult now to sustain the physical side of their play. And Alamao, brought down by Montanari. Well, Zola, I think, decides the destiny of this free kick. He might fancy the angle for a direct shot, but Puchetu, who can curl them and swerve them, as we saw in the first half, taking the matters into his own hands or onto his own left foot. It's a corner. Zola will take it. Desideri trying to distract him. But Napoli are now starting to put limits on their ambition. You detected how few players they had up for the corner then. Their priorities now lie at the other end. Oh, it came off Napoli, I think. And here's Berti. Is this the moment for Inter? Well, rather emphatically, the answer is no. Nicola Berti, whatever he tries, it seems to be the wrong option. He's come as close as anyone and nearer than most of his teammates. Ranieri with a shake of the head there and a little smile of relief. Taken up by Zola. Careca, who's a master at playing and spinning. Oh! Alamau! Alamau! Bergomi couldn't keep it out. But the linesman has flagged. And that is an incident that requires analysis here. Now, was Alamau offside there? And it came back to him off Dino Baggio. Now, some might say that played him onside in any case. He got the better of Zenga cleverly, and Bergomi might have been sent off for trying to use a hand to keep the ball out. But it didn't matter. Here come Inter. Napoli aggrieved. Matthaus now, not another hamstring injury for Orrico and his medical men. Can occur when the muscles get tired as well, and Matthaus has put so much in for this match, as he always does. Klinsmann heading into the danger area. Here's Careca. Crippa, Careca, Alamau in the middle. Crippa won't get to it. Matthaus has come over to the touchline to try and get off the pitch for some treatment. And Napoli could take the initiative now. Already agreed that the goal was ruled out. And Inter attacking with a depleted force, but Desideri turning up the toes, the sign of cramp. It's been that sort of match, not a typical Italian game by any means, because really both sides have been prepared, particularly Inter, to get the ball forward quickly. And just for a few seconds, there's an appearance of Massimo Ciocci in place of Matthaus. The game almost over, time almost up. Still 0-0. Desideri in towards Klinsmann, who was hoping to angle it on for Fontolan. How much time left for Bergomi to get the ball forward? Well, he passes that responsibility to Brehme. Crippa. Zola. Crippa is onside. Can Napoli snatch it here? Crippa's cross. Bergomi at full stretch. Here's Ciocci. Ranieri now wanting to make a change just to use up a few more seconds. Baggio, two to the left. Ciocci is one of them. He's done well coming on from the bench in earlier matches this season. but he might yet have a contribution to make in time added on. Napoli want the substitution to be made, and Brehme, even then the ball didn't go in. It's Padovano who's left out for tactical reasons, who is going to come on for a few seconds, and it's Zola who's being taken off. Free kick from Brehme, last roll of the dice for Inter. Napoli survive this fixture fraught with ill fortune in the past from the Napoli point of view, and they might say it's happened again, claiming that Matthaus should have had a goal near the end to win the match, but I think they'll be satisfied with the draw, particularly given the setback that they had last Sunday at home to Juventus. They competed well, Inter forced the pace of the game, but they couldn't force in a goal. Frustration for them again on their own ground. It's Inter 0, Napoli 0.
E mi torna